Hello. In this video, I will show a demo of Dynamic Scheduler, an application for a mobile workforce. The aim of this application is to build an optimal schedule, so a schedule that minimizes the travel time while respecting all the operational constraints and guaranteeing a high level of service. In this dashboard, you can see an example of the schedule. You can run the schedule for multiple days, so let's look at one day at once. The gun displays the schedule. So you have all of the employees with their working time, the travel time is in light blue, and the jobs are in dark blue. Sometimes job can take several days to be completed, and you can see examples here. The map on the right shows the employees' journeys. You can use the filter on top to select a specific employee or a job. Let me now show you what is behind the scenes. This dashboard is not for end users. It shows the data model and is used by advanced users to configure the scheduler for a specific business case. It shows you the bones of the application and it shows different possible configurations that can be leveraged to address different use cases. So we have a concept of site where jobs will take place. Sites might or might not have opening time window in which jobs need to be performed. Imagine, for example, a building that closes or a maintenance task that for some reason needs to be performed out of the regular hours. Employees almost always have skills and certification that need to be taken into account when creating the schedule, but their shifts might be very different from a case to the other. You may have shifts that are very regular, like 9 to 5, or you may have complex rotations. And you may have employees that can do overtime or cannot do overtime. Also, in some cases, the travel time needed to reach the very first job or from the last job of the day back to home might or might not be included in the schedule. And moving to the jobs, well, jobs almost always require skills and certifications to be performed and typically have deadlines. But you may have hard deadlines that you cannot miss or just a target completion date. And you may have a similar concept in terms of start time. Sometimes you cannot start a job before a certain date, but you may target to start it in another date. You may also have precedence between jobs. This is the case, for example, of jobs that require a safety procedure. You may need to perform jobs in a given sequence, and maybe you want even to take some slack in between the jobs. Finally, you may have preferences on which employee does which job. Maybe a customer is always served by the same group of employees, or maybe you have employees dedicated to a given region. And all these are examples of parameters that we use to tailor the scheduler to your business case. It's not always easy or always possible to adapt a software solution to the operational constraints of an enterprise. Our platform is built for this scope. We have a set of pre-built parameters that you can configure, but in case they are not sufficient, and it may happen, we can include the additional rules or data that are important to your operations. The planners will use it to monitor and adjust the plan dynamically during the day. On the top of the screen, I can see the most relevant KPIs, such as the travel time and the idle time. The idle time is pretty high here. Let's see why. Employee 11 is totally idle on June 1st. This might be, for example, because they had an appointment that got canceled, or maybe they were supposed to be off and instead are available to work. So let's fix the schedule. We have several options. This could be fully automated, meaning that the system could check on its own that there is an employee with available time and automatically trigger a reschedule. Or I can have a planner monitoring and fixing, and it can be more or less automated. I can just click on this button and let the system find the best assignment for this employee, taking into consideration the job priorities, the travel time, and so on. Or I can force the system to pick jobs within a set of jobs I decide. The blue dots in the map represent the jobs that are compatible with the selected employees. I can select some that for some reason are important to me and force the system to create a schedule out of these jobs. I'll run the schedule and it will be done in a few seconds. So the system has successfully found a schedule that respects my selection and is feasible for this employee on this day. Moving to a more manual utilization, I can also force the system to assign one specific job without giving up on the advantages of the automation and digital intelligence. I can fix one appointment within a time window and let the system find the most suitable schedule for this employee that will include this one specific job. The manual rescheduling functionalities can be very handy. For example, if you have to schedule follow-ups or have to reschedule a job that for some reason could not be completed the day before. These are examples of how the planners can interact with the schedule to monitor and adjust the plan based on the needs. The dashboard we have seen is configurable as the entire application. So the KPIs and charts can be configured differently in case the current configuration doesn't suit a specific business. You've seen the demo of Dynamic Scheduler, an application that creates an optimal schedule and allows the planners to monitor the schedule during the day and fix it if needed. For more content about workforce planning and scheduling, you can check our website.